SpaceX just raised $75 billion, the biggest IPO in history, and it makes no sense. This company has lost over $40 billion, and it even told its investors that it probably will never turn a profit. But people still invested. I still invested. And the reason comes down to one thing that has almost nothing to do with the numbers. Something that Elon's been building for the last 20 years. Now, I'll be honest, I didn't even know what an IPO was until this whole thing kicked off. All I knew is that the company was going public, which meant that I'd be able to buy shares. So I bought some shares, and I'm currently hoping that this isn't just a giant Ponzi scheme. But there was a lot of noise online about how the price is overvalued, it's going to crash as soon as it goes public, that it's a massive risk. But I still decided to take that risk. And there was one thing that made me decide that it's a risk worth taking. Elon's track record. Elon Musk has a track record of getting there. Eventually, we'll ignore the Roadster. That's still not there. But beyond that, he seems to do what he says he's going to do. And this is the point. People didn't back SpaceX with $75 billion because the spreadsheets looked good. They didn't. They looked terrible. It's never turned a profit. It's probably not going to turn a profit. But they backed because of Elon Musk doing the things he says he's going to do. He did the things that people said were impossible. He's made rockets that can go into space and come back and land on these giant claw things like something out of a movie. We've got internet that's like beamed straight out of space from satellite networks. You can watch Starlink satellites fly past. Yeah, it's crazy shit. He tends to overpromise. He's usually late, but these big, seemingly impossible things that he said he's going to do, he has a pretty good track record of actually doing. And this is why I decided to take the gamble on SpaceX. I've personally had positive experiences from things directly related to Elon Musk in the past. I've bought Tesla shares before. I drive a Model 3 currently. Go. See, people don't back you because of what you promise you can do from them. People buy from you when you actually show evidence that you can do the things you say you're going to do. Now, I'm not glazing Elon Musk. This has actually got nothing to do with him, but it's got everything to do with the mechanism behind why people invested $75 billion into this guy's company and made him the first trillionaire. And the mechanism behind why that happened is something that you can apply to your own content for your business. So what is this mechanism? Well, it's actually very simple. It's got nothing to do with how many followers you have or how many views you can pull in. It's all about having a reputation of being useful. If every single piece of content you create leads to some kind of positive outcome for the person watching, then you're already building that reputation. The thing is, most people making content think they are being useful, but most people are not. So I'm going to show you exactly what being useful actually looks like. What most business owners do on social media is make content that's purely about their product. They talk about why it's so great, how it's made, how it's different to their competitors, and try to convince people that they should buy it. The problem is a lot of these pieces of content do absolutely nothing for the person watching. What they see is just an advertisement, so they scroll past and forget you exist. So for example, I had a session with a business owner not too long ago who has a business where she creates like custom diary, daily planner journals. 99% of her posts were ads. It was talking about the product itself and trying to get people to buy it. But there was one thing that stood out. She had this video that was talking about a concept called cognitive load. So it's basically how much information your brain can hold. And I looked at that and I said to her in this session, I said, you need to remake this reel and talk about topics like this and really focus on educating and highlighting problems to people so that they become problem aware, and then you position your product and your offering as a solution to that. So she went and made the reel and got over 20 times her normal amount of views. The difference between that piece of content and the rest was the individual piece of content itself that delivered one solid, clear piece of value to the people that are watching. She educated them on something and made something they experience in their day-to-day life clear to them. Now, the views themselves weren't the win here, but they were a byproduct of actually delivering value to the people that were watching. One outlier viral post is great, but that's not what's going to change your business. Continuing to deliver that amount of value over and over again, that's what makes people stop just passively consuming your content and watching something when it pops up to actively seeking you out. The goal is to become the go-to person for your audience for a specific set of problems. And that mechanism basically, and on a much bigger scale, is what Elon Musk has done. He's got over 20 years of solving really complex problems, and he's done it consistently enough that he doesn't really have to prove anything anymore. There are people out there that will back whatever he does because he's proven himself hundreds of times over that 20-year period. It's the same process of becoming people's go-to person for a specific set of problems at an extreme level, but it's the same thing that you're building for your own business through your own content, just at a maybe smaller scale. Building that reputation means that by the time you're trying to sell to your audience, the hard work's already done. Asking people to pay for whatever it is you're selling is that much easier because you've really already done all of the convincing by delivering so much value to them previously. From the viewer's perspective, seeing all of this free, valuable content that's had so much positive impact on their life, they would assume that the paid stuff has to be worth it. You don't have to convince people at that point. You're not even really selling because your reputation as a problem solver has already done that for you. And that's the whole reason I opened this video talking about SpaceX. People were prepared to spend so much money on a company that's never turned a profit because its founder has that track record of solving complicated problems. And if you apply that to your social media content, you're building a similar reputation for your viewers. So the key takeaway from all of this, stop trying to sell in every piece of content you make. Just be useful. Take a problem that your audience has and solve it, and then do it again, and do it again, and again, and again. That's the whole strategy. It's that simple. Consistently being useful builds the kind of trust that makes people want to buy from you. And to be completely honest, that's what I'm trying to do with this video. I haven't tried to pitch anything. Didn't ask you to do anything. And if you're still watching up until this point, there's a good chance I've at least planted the seed and started building that relationship with you. But if you need more convincing, there's a video over here that you might enjoy, so you can watch that next.